Hi, my name is Dory Demers and I'm the Rise Vermont coordinator. I'm pleased to introduce you to Rise TV, a new collaboration with Northwest Access Television. Every week we'll bring you a new show that segments something that has to do with embracing a healthy lifestyle. We're also pretty lucky to be working with the Vermont Department of Health and partnering with their Women, Infants, and Children's program. Some of these shows will be WIC certified activities. If they are, they'll show up at the bottom of your screen and they'll say a WIC certified activity. You'll need to listen carefully throughout the show because we will have a WIC certified code. One of our Rise Vermont staff members will say it nice and clear for you, and that will be what you'll have to report to your local district office. Again, thank you for watching Rise TV. If you have any questions or if you'd like to know more about Rise Vermont, just email us at info@risevt.com, or you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. You can also call us at 524-8825. Thanks so much and enjoy the show.
Hello, welcome to the Rise Vermont TV show. My name is Brian Kluke and I'm the Rise Vermont health coach. So today we'll be going over resistance bands, resistance band training, as well as stretching. This segment has a lot to cover. There's a lot of different things we can talk about, but we're just primarily focused on stuff you can do in the office and stuff that's really convenient to do as well. So first of all, what is a resistance band? So a resistance band, many of you may know what a resistance band is, but the Rise Vermont resistance bands are kind of just a loop, a closed loop. They're made out of rubber. I don't know the exact resistance of them, but again, the goal of the resistance band is just to get you to engage the muscle, which increases blood flow, which in turn keeps you healthy. So how you would acquire a Rise Vermont resistance band, there's a bunch of different ways you can go about doing this. I actually have one with me just to show you what I was talking about. It may seem small, but you get it in person. I mean, it has some fair amount of resistance to it. And we give these out in little packets. We give them to people at your workplace. We can give them to schools. So any way you want to get one, just feel free to contact us. And next, we'll be talking about why it's important to resistance train. This segment, there's really a lot to talk about. There's different reasons for using a resistance band over whether it's body weight or free weight exercises. Some of the pros to using a resistance band are it allows you to engage the muscle or the tendon or the ligament related to the joint through the whole range of motion. Which is the reason you'll see these all the time in physical therapy. People coming from injury due to, of course, a variety of reasons, but it allows the smaller muscles in conjunction to the bigger muscles to work together to produce work. So yeah, and next we'll go over the exercises that you can do with the resistance band. I'd like to actually bring Stacy up here, who will be helping me demonstrate some of these exercises and going through them with me. Just like we talked about with stretching, if you watch that show, these stretches last about 10 to 30 seconds. And the first couple we'll be showing you are just stretches. So you can go through the motion and kind of hold it there. The first one, you're going to have it on the outer side of your hands, the hands inside. You want to make sure the thumbs are up top. One of the disclaimers about resistance bands in general are this is a closed loop one. There are some with handles as well. But of course, there's always the fear that they may snap, which can cause severe injury, and I've seen it firsthand. So just always a word of a caution with these. So if you were to have your hands in here, under circumstances they could snap in any direction, hurt someone else. So having the thumbs above allows you to control it a little bit better. So Stacy, hi. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of back work. So having your hands like this, you want to apply pressure in this direction, the direction my thumbs are facing, and you can just see it go like this. And if I turn around, what I'm actually doing with this stretch, I actually have Stacy, if you could turn around for me, just demonstrate the muscles she's engaging. She's actually working all these muscles around her shoulder blade, as well as some of her upper back and some of her shoulder as well. And this one, thank you, Stacy. So this exercise you can do, like I just mentioned, stationary, or you can actually take it and you can kind of pulse with it, which would disengage and then re-engage the muscles you just worked. Which just play around with it, see what works for you. Maybe you're finding it causes pain in one shoulder or not in the other. So what you'd want to do in that case, you can take this, and that's the beauty with these, is you can put them anywhere. So Stacy, if you'd like to hold this one for me.
Sure.
So she's going to hold one end, and if you don't have a Stacy or a partner, you can use a doorknob, you can kind of tie it around, or a coat rack, you can hook it around to perform some of these. So I would go like this if this shoulder felt okay and the other one was bothering me. And you can kind of do the same thing. You can hold it there as well, depending on your partner or your external fixture you're working with. And that'll allow you, and you can do that with anything, any of these exercises. So if one side's bothering you, just focus on the better side, or adjust, the resistance band if need be. The next exercise we'll demonstrate is a bicep curl with these. So again, safety first, but you can step on the band. And you will have your palm faced out for this particular exercise, and you can kind of curl it up. And again, another word of caution, if I were in a seated position, it decreases, the band, the travel length, so it would allow me to get a little bit more of the exercise, as opposed to standing when this band is actually a little bit small. But this is a perfect example where you could do it in a seated position. At home, if you're on the couch and you're like, wow, I'm bored, this is a commercial. Wow, throw a resistance band on, there you go. It's that kind of ease of access, which is just one of the many pros to have a resistance band, is the convenience of it. And the WIC code for today is strength training. So strength training is the WIC code for today. So we went over the bicep curl. Next, Stacy, if you'd like to just use this one, if you want to hold it kind of like this.
Okay.
Just like this for me, out in front. Yep, just like this, without the other hand. Perfect. Let me see it. No, like that. Yeah, just this.
Okay.
Thank you.
There we go.
So if you had like the coat rack I was mentioning earlier, or something on your desk or a handle you can attach it to, it's kind of a tricep press down. So we just did a bicep exercise. You want to make sure you're doing the opposite muscle group. So if I were to kneel down, again, get creative with this exercise if you have a coat rack or something to do, and you can kind of press down. And again, when you're working, thank you. And Stacy demonstrated there, if you have a partner to do this exercise with, there's actually two benefits to what I just did. So as I'm pressing down, engaging my muscle, she was actually stabilizing with her shoulder. A lot of fun stuff you can do with resistance bands in terms of partner exercises and workouts. And the list is really infinite. Another benefit to these is while you're working in the gym or exercising, a lot of us have a tendency to complain about plateauing, or our workouts are getting stale or becoming stagnant. This is a great way to add variety. If you're performing an exercise, this can add a whole nother level of challenge or resistance, or and really challenge your muscles in a different way to recruit other muscles while you're performing the same exercise, which is really fascinating. Next, we'll both demonstrate kind of a lower back stretch and workout. You'll put the resistance band on kind of over both your feet. While it may seem a little awkward, this exercise you can actually do while seated as well, and it more or less works the same muscle groups. So these are called skaters. So you can step to one side, and you can kind of feel, again, with this light tension. Stacy, if you wouldn't mind turning around, just so I can show. So Stacy's actually working a little bit of her lower back right in through here when she's doing this, and you can step one way and then bring your foot to that, so you're kind of staying in the same spot, back and forth. While it may seem very simple, a lot of while we're sitting involves our hips, and keeping that everything in line. So this kind of works a lot of those muscles to help them stay in shape, flexible, functional. And if you were seated, kind of the cool alternative you can do to that is you can raise both feet in the air and kind of do some pulses like this. Whereas I'm standing, would be me jumping and doing it, which I will refrain from. So another cool exercise you can do with the resistance band is kind of a chest press or movement. Stacey, if you'd like to help me demonstrate this one. Sure. So if you just want to hold this side for me. Mm-hmm. So if my partner, again, a fixture, I'm actually going to take this resistance band. Again, this, if you do have a partner, they can get some benefit, and I'll explain that in a bit. So if I'm standing here, you can just kind of do a pressing motion. You know, you may be able to put it on the back of your chair or something like that. Again, you can do it with both arms, of course. But Stacey, if you want to switch with that same thing, if you want to do the pressing, and just demonstrate a few. So while here, if she's pressing, working the same muscle group I was, if you have another resistance band or she wants more resistance, you can actually just back up a little bit. There you go. Thank you. And it just adds that much more, that little bit more, you know, dynamic part to the resistance band training, the fun you're having in your office. And then I mentioned, if you'd watched our segment about stretching, some of the shoulder stuff that worries me while sitting for a prolonged period of time or typing. So Stacey, if we want to demonstrate this one. This one is kind of different. It's more of the beginning one where we just did a stretch with it and held it. So you want your hands faced outward, like such. And then it's more of a relaxing pose. You can bring your hands right above your head. Just like that, and you want to hold that for 10 to 30 seconds. Stacey, if you want to hold that there for me and turn to the side. So a lot of what you can see is Stacey's alignment. So her hands aren't forward. They're actually positioned well in line with her ears, showing good mobility, and then relaxing her shoulder blades, so right in through here. She want to make sure that stays nice and relaxed, as well as in through here. This area can become really tight as well. Thank you, Stacey. So that's just another example. So those are some of the workouts and exercises you can do, you know, in the office, at the gym, combining it with other exercises. But the real good thing about these and why I have them personally, and I would recommend them, just because when you're traveling, people tend to revert to bodyweight exercises, which there's nothing wrong with that. But the you know, the full range and flexibility you have with the resistance band is just kind of endless. You know, if you're in a hotel room or something, you can just put it again on the door and perform all these exercises. Again, there's hundreds more. And cost, these are, you know, in terms of fitness equipment, relatively cheap to purchase and have just hanging around. So there is that. I'll demonstrate just a couple more exercises here that you can do with a resistance band, and then that'll be the show for today. So Stacey, if you want to just use this one with me. Sure. If you want to hold that side. So actually this one is shown with a partner, but you can do it solo. So if her hand was the fixed object, Stacey, if you want to go into a kind of a squat. So if it were just me, I can pull back. But if I had a partner, we can both pull. Like such. And in doing that, it does one of many things, but the primary thing we're doing there is actually working our back muscles. Again, when I talk so much about shoulders, a lot of it is due to that tilt. So if your shoulders are here, they may be over here. So working all your muscles in back to make sure you can bring your shoulders back, and that can be the common position for you. And while we were in that position, you know, kind of a quarter squat, you're keeping your core engaged. You're working your legs a little bit. Again, just trying to stay in shape and stay mobile. That's kind of the general overview of resistance bands, and there's many, many more exercises, which in the future we'll do another video of resistance bands and different exercises you can do. But that's all for today's show, and thank you very much for watching.